Well, tariffs continue to dominate headlines, frankly, and that mirrors the way in which US has moved as well, in terms of how the markets in the US have moved. But, Sajid, Snehi, we've spoken about this time and again, about how tariffs are impacting markets. There is some bit of commentary around the fact that maybe come November, this overhang with regard to tariffs may recede, but we're closer to November now and we don't see any of that receding. So that will continue to create a bit of an overhang, at least where global markets are concerned, and therefore will impact India as well.
So there is, active discussion which is happening with the US with respect to tariff, right? At 50%, the discussion is that whether the entire tariff rate can be brought down to 10 or 15%, but it seems from reports that the US is not willing to bring it down to below the Asian peers. So, 15% it seems is likelihood, and some of the government officials are also saying that it's very close by and that entire deal has to be struck. But there are certain things which are coming into play, geopolitical things which Trump is raising at multiple forums with respect to the Russian oil, and India is not confirming or denying it either. They've been keeping silent on that part of it.
Correct.
And yesterday's sanction brings in some bit of more geopolitical uncertainty, because on one hand Trump is insisting that India has agreed to reduce the Russian oil, and that we saw in the Brent going up by nearly 5% in the morning to 63 odd dollars. At the same time, the sanctions against Rosneft and Lukoil is also damning in some point, because that reduces the oil available, because they account for nearly 50% of Russia's export.
Correct.
So the sanctions are going to be some kind of impact on many of the countries, and that's why you're seeing the crude reacting that way it is. But having said that, the tariff deal will happen in phases. It's not going to be something which may come in immediately, because it's expected that something will come around the ASEAN Summit, which is expected next week. But I think the Prime Minister is not going for the ASEAN Summit. So if it's a trade deal, a big one with the US, where Trump is going to be there, then the Prime Minister, and the deal is to be announced, then the Prime Minister would be there. But Prime Minister is not going to address virtually the entire ASEAN meet. So that's something could be one of the factors to watch out for. The GIFT Nifty is jumping nearly 300 odd points because of the expectation of a tariff deal. But there are few things to look at. If you look at the Q cards which are coming in, is one, the PM is not going there. He's going to announce virtually, and a big tariff deal with the US, where Trump is there physically, and Trump is not going for the G20 meeting in South Africa. So that's something, a question mark whether the deal will be announced. The second thing would be with respect to the sanctions which are coming in, and third is that we have seen a best October in last 2 years. 23-24 October has been lower. It's down 3-4% every October. This time Nifty is up 5% in October so far, and Nifty Bank is up 6%. So are we going to cross 26,000? Yeah, we may make an attempt, but are we going to hold on to 26,000? I'm still skeptical about it.